Shabbat Shalom. I just want to welcome everyone to the Sabbath Day conference call. This is Barbara serving as your host today, and Brother P is here as your co-host.
Yes, I'm so glad. We're so glad to have you join us today for this another important discussion.
Well, can you solve these three simple questions? That's our title today. Number one, how was time observed biblically? How did Adam and Eve observe time?
Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years."
Those are the signs of the moon to tell you your feast days or Sabbaths. Okay, how did Noah observe time? Well, we know at the time of Noah there was a 360-day year, and there were 30-day months.
Genesis 8:2-5. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 7th day of the 7th month, the ark came to the rest on the mountains of Ararat. And the waters continued to recede until the 10th month. And on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible.
Okay, so 150 days equals 5 months, and those are 30-day months. And you may be interested to know that all the ancient calendars had 30-day months. How did Abraham observe time?
Psalm 104:19. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows its going down. And Genesis 26:5. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
How did Moses observe time?
Exodus 12:2. Yahweh said, "This month, or this moon, shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you."
And how did Moses observe time at the time of Passover?
Leviticus 23:2-8. In the 14th day of the first month at Eden is Yahweh's Passover, and on the 14th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. In the 7th day is a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
Here is what that month would look like. The first month is in spring, and Passover is the 14th, 15th is a Sabbath, and there was a whole 7-day feast. How did Moses observe time after the Exodus? What was he given for a time schedule?
Exodus 20:8-12. Remember the Sabbath, or the Shabbat, day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day, and therefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
How did Yeshua observe time? Well, we know that he observed the Passover and that he was the Passover lamb, and everything happened on that calendar that was given at the time of creation. That he was crucified on the 14th, he was in the grave resting on the 15th, and he was risen on the 16th, the first day of the week. Okay, here's our second question. Are we observing time the same way as it was observed biblically? Saturday and Sunday, are these the worship days of the Bible? Saturday is based on a sequential number only. It is not based on anything in nature. It wasn't there at the time of the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve and all the patriarchs we've just learned about. Well, the Gregorian calendar came about in 1582 by Pope Gregory the 13th. And it is the calendar that we all grew up with and know here in America and in the world now. The whole world uses this calendar. The Sabbath of the Bible is not found on a Roman Gregorian calendar. So here are our questions. 1, how was time observed biblically? 2, are we observing time the same way? The third question, does it matter? Did Yahweh change his calendar?
Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahweh, I change not.
So Yah's calendar is past, present, and future. Here's prophecy in Daniel and Revelation. All the days in prophecy here, the 1260, the 1290, and the 1335, are all divisible by 30-day months. And you will find on a Gregorian calendar, it is impossible to have 3 months in a row that are 30-day months. Well, the book of Revelation.
Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faithful of Yeshua.
So the saints are keeping the commandments, and they're keeping them and keeping the Sabbath on the calendar of the heavens. Here is a future talking about days of Sabbath and new moon.
Ezekiel 46:1. Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, the gate of the inner court that looks toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open.
Another future quote from Isaiah.
Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that when from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh.
So did you solve these 3 simple questions?
Psalm 89:37. It will be established forever, like the moon, the faithful witness in the sky.
So to access more information about that faithful witness in the sky and the timekeeping system that's in the Bible, please go to our website, lunarsabbathday.com.